What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Musari podcast. If you are tuning in from YouTube, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. To those on Spotify, be sure to drop a 5-star rating. Once again, we got someone back in the house that I'm so excited to have. This is Chris Champion. A lot of you might have remembered that he has helped 120 startups raise $300 million. And recently we bumped into each other in School of Hard Knocks. If you're in the School of Hard Knocks, you know you're a badass, right? What's up, Chris?
What's up, Hermano? How are you, man?
No, I'm doing good, doing good. So you know how I like to start with the hard questions. So last time you said something that really got me thinking, right? And it really stuck in my head. So we had the podcast like what 7, 8 months ago. At the time, it was the beginning of Trump's administration, and you predicted that 10 months from then there was gonna be like AR anarchy, right? And here we are today. Just a couple of days ago, I saw this post by Matt Walsh that really got my attention. And he mentioned that something ridiculous like 25 to 28 million jobs are going to be wiped out from the market in the next like 5 to 10 years, something like that. So, what are you making of this whole thing, and how are you processing this very fast changing world we're in?
Well, I think it's actually going to be significantly more than that number and a lot faster. Everything that anyone thinks AI is going to do, it's going to happen faster. It's
Mm.
already happening faster. It's happening right before our very own eyes. I'll give you an example. Here in Las Vegas, Amazon just dropped 500 self-driving cars. Now think about that.
Damn.
Amazon's not even in the self-driving business, and they realized we can buy these self-driving cars. We don't have to have humans be involved in the process, and we can make money 24 hours a day.
Damn, my goodness.
Yeah. And Elon talked the other day about Optimus, the robot. And Optimus has been doing some things to improve its skill sets. And they gave it a project where it did an operation on a human being. I don't know what it did, maybe open heart surgery or something. I got to look up the details. But supposedly it did the operation better than any human being could have done, any human doctor could have done. Now, the pitch was that Optimus robots are going to create a better healthcare system for human beings than anything in the future. And the reality is, I think that's true. If you have a robot that's basically, in your house and you're older and the robot can handle any medical emergency, yeah, of course, that's a great situation for older people. It's literally the best way to create longevity for human beings. So that's a good thing. But if you look at it and you say to yourself, wow, here we are. Optimus robots are doing better work than a doctor can.
Because I'm seeing like it really gets me wondering how the economy is going to look. Because
Yep.
for H1 2025, I saw that GDP has grown like what 3 4% in the U.S. and something ridiculous like 0.1% of that is coming from other industries, and the majority of that, if not 90+% of that growth, is coming from tech and AI. So you find that the stock market's booming, a lot of capital is flowing into it because of like the tech and AI companies that are really driving the S&P 500. But you find that like the real economy, like retail, manufacturing, are not really growing at that trend. And job creation is also not great, but S&P is at an all-time high. What do you make of that?
I'm not a big stock market guy, so I should preface that with this. And I actually think that the data that we're getting from the government for the last probably 10 years, maybe more, has been highly manipulated. Uh, you know, inflation data during the Biden administration was manipulated. Inflation was significantly higher than what they are ever reporting it.
Yeah.
So my answer to that question is my belief is that the stock market is a house of cards. And
Mm,
retail companies, they're fucked. They're just beyond fucked. Like the ability to get your products delivered to your home right now make it horribly impossible for retailers to do business. Now, what I think is going to happen because of AI, you're going to see restaurant and the food industry get a lot better.
yeah.
You see these crazy videos where some kid is making your cheeseburger and he spits in your cheeseburger and then he puts it back, and you get a cheeseburger with spit in it. No AI robot's going to do that shit.
Yeah.
So, and the food industry, a friend of mine runs a restaurant. It is very hard to find people and keep them working. So I think AI is going to really change the food industry. You'll be able to place your order. You'll have a robot make your order without the spit, and you'll get the order perfect every single time. And these robots will work 24 hours a day. So I think there's going to be some improvements to certain industries in the retail space, like food.
I really wonder what political campaigns are going to look like because they come with promises like, affordability. They promise, more job creation. They promise that wages are going to keep on growing. How is that going to look like? What story are they going to tell when everybody's replaced by robots? Have you ever thought of that? What are they going to campaign on?
Well, I'll tell you something that'll really blow your mind. The political elite has been building underground cities all throughout America.
Mm.
I don't think any politician cares about humanity overhaul. I think what they're planning on doing is just running and hiding like a politician probably should do. And you look at Mexico right now, they've literally got the most corrupt politician of all time. Like, she literally is a planted politician by the drug cartels. How do you know that? Because during her election, the 32 other competitors were all assassinated.
Yeah,
They're all
when I heard about the drug cartel story in the news, I thought that was an exaggeration. Like until yesterday, I was chatting with a friend of mine. He's a Mexican dude. He was actually planning on moving to the
shout out to the
U.S.
Mexican dude.
Yeah, shout out to him. His name is Manu too, by the way. Same nickname as me. So
What's
he
his name?
he
Wait a second.
Manu Manu Emmanuel Manu.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. I love that.
I won't say his surname. There are millions of Emmanuel, so he'll get away with that. So he moved to a European country. Since I mentioned his name, I won't say the European country. And I thought the whole drug cartel thing was a bluff, but he told me that something like 68 politicians got taken out by the drug cartel last year during the elections. This year, I think it was the mayor of Mexico City that got taken out.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
yeah. So we got to look at Mexico right now as it's a criminal state. I mean, it's literally run by criminals. It's a criminal country, and the people are starting to revolt. If you look, they're having revolutions by the people, and the people of Mexico, they need to revolt because they're part of a criminal state that literally doesn't care about the people.
Yeah. So, in your view,
By the way,
given your
drug cartel people, if you come to my house, I got 4 dogs. They are the most vicious animals known to mankind. I say pity to your soul when they get a hold of you.
So Toby, so given that you have this vision of this AR anarchy, what's the tell us what America's going to look like in 5 to 10 years?
I
And
mean,
the
listen,
second
I'll
question
tell you what
is,
it's gonna. I'll tell you what it's going to look like in about 6 months. You're going to see Uber. Currently there's about 7 million Uber drivers, human drivers,
yeah,
out on the road. That number's those 7 million human new Uber drivers are going to be replaced in the next 5 to 6 months in every major city: Austin, Las Vegas, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. You watch and see. Now you got 7 million people that used to drive an Uber that don't know how to make money, and they're out on the streets without that paycheck that they were getting from Uber, which by the way was criminally small. Now you've got 370,000 people inside of Amazon warehouses that are doing physical labor. Amazon flat out told those people, we are going to replace you with 600,000 robots.
mm,
Now you've got UPS that took 20,000 drivers and gave them early retirement because they flat out told them they were going to replace them with robots, and your packages from UPS would come by an AI driven truck and emptied by an autonomous robot. So
yeah.
we're not 5 years away from seeing this happen. We're about 6 months to a year max from seeing a tremendous amount of jobs in that space disappear. Now, if you look at Trump, he's cracking down on all the illegal aliens that are driving trucks these days. Why? Because he's going to try and keep as many of Americans driving those trucks until they get replaced also. It's literally all about protecting jobs for Americans right now, because those jobs are all going to be replaced by AI in some form.
So very soon the robots are going to be calling for deportation of Americans back to their original countries.
Or you ever see the movie I, Robot with Will Smith?
I remember that 20 years ago. Yeah.
So it's interesting because if you look at it, the I, Robot and the Optimus robot look insanely similar. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
They look insanely similar. And
Actually, the movie that came to mind when you mentioned the whole underground city thing was Don't Look Up by Leo DiCaprio.
don't look up.
Is it Don't Look Up? You know that movie where you know, I think there's like a meteor that's gonna hit the ground, and
Oh, was
Leo
it like the
DiCaprio is
moon
like a
or something
geekish
was
dude.
coming down?
Yeah, he's like a geekish dude warning everybody that this meteor is gonna come and destroy humanity, and politicians keep on gaslighting the thing when they
I don't
knew it
think
was
it was the
true.
meter. I think it was the moon.
It was
We
the
were
moon,
being
right?
with the moon to pull it down.
Yeah, I saw that
Or
movie like,
actually, the moon, they found out the moon was actually not a moon. It was actually a man-made object.
and the politicians were like gaslighting the whole thing the whole time, but they had plans of running away. So
Yeah.
everything's based on reality, I guess.
I think, wasn't Halle Berry in that also?
I can't remember. I just remember Leo DiCaprio.
Now you
I'm not a big movie dude, anyways.
now you're gonna make me go watch that movie tonight.
I think the only reason why I watched that movie was because it was COVID. I'm not a movie guy.
You're
That's
probably
how
bored
bored
out
I
of your
was.
mind. You're like you're like, I am bored out of my mind.
Yeah. So tell me. So now, if you're a parent, to the parents who are listening, right? What do you tell your kids? How do you prepare your kids for the future? Do you actually have a plan, or do you just let the world just take you out?
Well, the one thing I've been telling people for the last year is you've got to get AI to work for you. That is
Hmm.
100% fact. You got to find ways to get AI to work for you, or the people that do find out how ways to get AI to work for them are going to pass you by, and you are going to be fucked. You are going to be absolutely fucked. Now, how can you get AI to work for you? You can make cartoon series and sell them in small micro dose increments, and
Hmm.
literally sell that by using AI tools to build cartoon series. You can get self-driving cars that actually make you money while you sleep. There's a million ways to get AI to work for you, but if you don't figure out how to get AI to work for you right now, you are going to be left behind by those who do.
Wow. That's interesting. So now, and what do you make of like the AI race between? Okay, in your view, is AI race really the narrative that we see on TV, like U.S. versus China and other superpowers, or is it just like the elites versus everybody else? How do you see that?
I definitely think there's a big swing between the elites and the average human being. You're going to see the separation of people that have significant amounts of money, and then you're going to see a massive. I think the middle class is destroyed now.
Damn. So, and tell us a bit about your journey of, because obviously you got an AI tool going on and you've managed to monetize it. I believe you got like an eight-figure business going on from what you've done. Tell us about the discovery journey, and how it's been ever since you've been able to like monetize this tool that you built.
So about a year and a half ago, my team and I built the largest AI agent platform that books you on the podcasts. And a part of that was last year's election. I saw how very powerful podcasts have become from a standpoint of long format advertising. If you've got a story to tell, that 30 minutes is the best way to tell your story. It's better than doing an Instagram ad or doing a commercial on TV. It is the best way to tell your story. You look at Trump and Kamala during the election. He did 150 podcasts. She did three. For the first time, a Republican won the popular vote, and that was shockingly impressive. And that was in my opinion because of podcasting. He gave the American people a chance to get to know him.
Yeah, because I remember seeing him on Andrew Schultz. He showed up on Joe Rogan. He showed up on my man Patrick Bet David. And let me digress a bit. Obviously, we're mainly talking about the AR anarchy. That's kind of like a story of not so much hope. I mean, I am a Christian. I do believe Christ is my hope, but I mean, it's looking kind of dark. What do you make of the whole political climate? There's been a lot of noise around, America First versus MAGA, and the political assassinations and recent political threats. How do you process that?
I think we're seeing clear as day that America has a political system that is run by people that are not our elected politicians. We literally do have a deep state that literally runs our government. And we're seeing politicians that are controlled by compromised positions, whether it's money that they've laundered or criminal acts that they've done. And the real criminals in America are the politicians. They're getting away with murder.
I hear you. I'm very surprised that I didn't hear Epstein come out of your mouth in that answer.
Well, to be honest with you, Epstein's a big distraction. See, here's the thing.
Mm,
Everyone knows what happened with Epstein. Everyone knows that it was a horrible criminal act. Everyone knows that both sides of the party are implicated in that. But they're using it, they're dangling it as a distraction so they can keep you focused on something other than the fact that we've got massive anarchy happening in major cities. Like you look what's happening in Mexico, even though it's not part of the United States, that's going to drift into the United States. You look at all this conflict. We're on the precipice of a civil war between two political parties,
yeah.
Republicans and Democrats. And
Mm,
Democrats have ground troops that are actively attacking federal officers who are trying to get rid of illegal immigrants that are here illegally.
correct.
The Democrats are using those illegal immigrants as their ground troops to create fraudulent votes to keep them in power. It is truly a struggle for power.
So given that, where do you see America in that sense in the next like 5 to 10 years in terms of like the outcome? Like, how do you see the whole
I think we're
Civil War
heading for
thing?
civil war. I think you should probably load up on Bitcoin and bullets.
No, I hear you. I hear you. So no, that was cool. It's always
I mean, I
cool to
could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but
yeah.
I think the inevitability as you look at what's happening every day on video
Mm,
is you're going to see people on the Democrat side get more braver.
yeah,
They've already tried to assassinate some, our political leaders 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times now, and
correct.
that's what we know of. There might be even more. And rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. That
Yeah.
was a horrible situation. But let's be honest: is Charlie Kirk really dead? No blood on the scene. They carried his body over 300 yards to a car to get him to the hospital, and not one ounce of blood, not one drip of blood along the way. Did he really get shot? Did he really die?
Nah,
That is that there's some amazing conspiracy theories out there right now, and I'll be honest with you, I think the conspiracy theorists are right more than they're wrong.
no, I think it got taken out. I would like for him to still be around.
I'll be
So
honest with you, there was no
I'll
autopsy. How do you know he's not?
well, only God knows. But I mean, so far it looks like
That is
he got
true.
taken out.
I kind of wish God would send an angel down just to straighten out things, just from an information standpoint. We just have this large wing being just flutter down, jump into Congress and say, "Hey, I'm here to tell the truth." Like that's the guy I could believe. Everyone else, I'm seriously doubting.
Yeah, I fully hear you, and I'm going to take a step further. So, for example, on the Democrat side, you see, sort of like a moderate establishment kind of wing versus this emerging Democrat socialism. I'm here in New York, and we saw that very interesting character who became the mayor. And on the right side, you see this dispute between, MAGA, which claims to be an America First movement, versus the emerging America First movement, which claims to be what MAGA was supposed to be. So do you reckon the Civil War is going to be left versus right, or is it going to happen within
Well, it's
both
definitely going to be
wings?
left. It's definitely going to be left versus right. The Democrats have ground troops, Antifa. I mean, they have a very organized, well-financed ground troops of anarchists and people that do damage. And in the snap of the finger, they could literally do $2 billion worth of damage on the streets of New York with these people. They are
Mm,
well-funded. They're organized. It's a fact of life. So it's going to be a situation where you see the Democrats and their ground troops against probably not even the right, but the government. You'll see them. They'll either rig another election in 28 to take back control of the government, or I think you'll see a civil war against the government from the left and their ground troops.
yeah, borderline bloody.
Yeah, well, I don't. The weird thing about it is that kind of stuff doesn't get bloody anymore. It just causes damage. Those people aren't looking to hurt other Americans. They're looking to burn down the Nike store or rob it.
The funniest thing that I see, because sometimes, it's ironic the way the country's so divided. One side thinks the other side is so deceived. But it's really funny how on the 18th of October, I was just minding my business, doing my calls in the morning, doing my chores. And then I decided, okay, let me just check out this No Kings thing. Let me just have a laugh. So I live in New York City. I check out footages. New York City is like the melting pot of the world. I see a bunch of old white ladies. I'm like, this is not the demographic of New York City. What the hell is this? You know what I
Now,
mean?
here's the funny thing: it was a predominantly white operation, the No Kings thing,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of old white liberal women. Shout out to the women; they're absolutely most unattractive females on the planet. Literally, nobody would want to ever reproduce with an old white liberal woman, even a middle-aged white liberal woman. You guys are the most unattractive beings on the planet. But it's funny because the No Kings thing had so many white liberal women and very feminine men associated with it, and I thought to myself, where's all the fucking black and brown people?
Exactly. Because I mean,
Where's all these people that don't want the Kings, and they're literally being promoted as being the people that are getting the worst end of the stick, and I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck, they didn't show up because they don't believe in this bullshit.
yeah, because I mean, I asked the very same question to people in my circle who are on the left. Because I mean, let's face it. I'm a black dude, and most black people are on the left. Over 80% of Americans are on the left.
Not as much
So,
anymore. And here's the funny thing: the black community inherently is anti everything the Democrats are a part of, and because they believe in
that's
family.
true.
They believe in family. They're
Correct.
conservative in nature. But
Correct.
but what started happening is years ago, decades ago, it started even before Obama. They started taking the black man out of the family. They put him incarcerated the black man. They separated the black man.
Yeah.
Then they came out with the rap music bullshit about make baby mamas, baby mamas, baby mamas, and all these black men went and had
And then
multiple.
you got the lady saying, "I'm a B, I'm a B, I'm a B, I'm a
Yeah,
hoe."
exactly. So you now got these single family black women that are trying to raise children without a strong black father in the unit, and you literally have these kids growing up becoming criminals and I hate to say it, totally fucking insane. And it's the strong black man that made the family unit stronger.
That's right. That's
The
right.
children grew up with somebody to fear. And,
To
and the Democrat Party successfully did that over the course of probably 30, 40, 50 years. Shout out to Obama. I mean, come on, when Obama got the baby mama craze really going.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he could have very easily just said, listen, if you're black, you do one, two, three, you can be successful. He made black people believe that, the country is systemically broken, they can never be successful. Meanwhile, he succeeded in the very system. Because I myself, I'm a black dude, I'm a Christian. I can see the imperfections of both parties, but I prefer the conservative side. Apart from the fiscal aspect, man, the family thing's very important. And one thing that a lot of Christians don't get is that the Bible's actually very pro free markets. The Bible is very pro private property. Like God promises prosperity land to the people. Even Christians don't realize that socialism is essentially government taking away what God has promised you. The wealth belongs to you. And they're demonizing, the blessings that God has given to you. You know what I mean? Obviously we do know that we can argue that the system is rigged to the billionaires, but in principle, like socialism is just not it.
No, and trust me, this guy in New York, Mandani, he will set New York back and make it unlivable in less than 4 years. The things
Yes.
that he's going to do to New York is going to turn it into a shit show.
Oh yeah, tell me
And,
about it.
and the crazy thing is, he's not socialist. He's straight up communist.
Yeah.
Like his first day after he won the election, he made a video in front of a apartment building saying, "Hey, we're going to take over these apartment buildings from the people that own them because we're going to fine them so much they can't afford to own the apartment buildings anymore. So the state of New York's going to take them over, and we're going to do rent control." And I
Yeah,
thought to myself, government can't even operate TSA agents. How the fuck are you going to operate running buildings?
and maintenance and all that stuff. They're gonna literally confiscate it right
Yeah.
before our eyes.
Yeah, I mean that's straight up communist, and that's not socialism. That's straight up and communism doesn't work. You want to go check out communism? Go to China. China. Go check out China.
No, I mean I'm from Southeast Africa because I mean a lot of us Africans were colonized, between the 1960s and 1970s, and even as recent as 2000s, we got liberated, right? A lot of African countries, like my country, Mozambique, and Southeast Africa, countries like Tanzania, we shifted from the colonial era where the colonizers owned all the property to communism where the government took control of all the assets and everything was nationalized, and eventually they became like mixed economies where some people started getting some wealth. So we actually come from that. So I was born in the very year where reforms were made from hardline communism to a mixed economy. And I've heard stories that, I mean, at some point my family thought government was going to take my dad out because he always believed in private property and he kind of broke the rules a little bit by owning stuff. And only to find that in 2025 the number of people from my country who are pro Mamdani is just insane. I'm like, guys, have you eaten so much cheese that you forgot what happened to our country? Like, really? Do you guys forget how skinny our parents were back in those days with their bootleg pants?
Yeah, it's like I said, what's going to happen in New York very soon is in the next 4 years is going to make it unlivable, like literally unlivable on so many levels. And by the way, the free buses, they're not coming. Don't get too excited about the free bus rides.
I told people the same thing, and I was called a hater because Kathy Hochul said there was no way she's gonna raise the
No,
taxes because I mean they fund her campaign. But again, a couple of days later, I saw that they had a chat, and she was floating the idea of increasing taxes on the corporations. You think that's gonna happen?
oh yeah. Listen, New York's already been making it impossible for corporations to operate out of New York. So I mean, they're pushing business out of New York like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida just opened up its own stock exchange.
Hmm.
And I give New York about 4 years before they've chased away most of the corporations.
Yeah. Tell
And
me
when you get
about it.
rid of most of the corporations, you get rid of most of the executives, which means all those big $20 million condos and high rises, they're going to be empty. No one's going to buy them. You need those guys to buy them.
And it's funny how right after Mamdani won, this guy was campaigning on, attacking the billionaires, attacking the new Trumps who are too comfortable owning all the property and quote unquote exploiting the people in New York City. And lo and behold, he takes a picture with Alex Soros. And there's actually an article in Forbes that confirms that he got some funding from some billionaires in California. Actually, when you look at their net worth, they're actually richer than the Soros. But there he is, stirring up everybody's emotions by the idea of attacking billionaires. Meanwhile, he himself was funded by some.
Yeah, it's amazing um, how corrupt the Democrats and the left are. But here's the crazy part: I don't think the left, left is getting radical left, but now they're going even way past radical left. They're going straight to communism.
Yeah,
And here's the crazy part: I don't think people understand.
they don't.
Communism has never worked ever in any country. And then if you want an example of communism, go look at China.
Yeah.
Like literally, if that's what you want, go somewhere else because that's not America. That's not the American way. But here's the thing: they've somehow convinced their followers. Maybe it's through some medication or something. Maybe they just feed them too much CNN bullshit. But these people are knee deep behind the whole concept of communism. Oh, yeah, free buses. Let's take over the city. Blah blah blah. It reminds me much of, and I'm a movie buff from time to time, but Escape from New York when all the crazy people took over and they had to like literally build a wall around New York to keep the crazy people inside.
I guess they're telling us exactly what's going to happen.
I mean, it's funny as you look at some of the movies that were made over the last 20 years, they really did predict the future, and it's crazy.
But also, there's something you forgot. You forgot. Remember TikTok. You know, it's amazing the number of people who've developed stupid ideologies because of TikTok. I mean, I've seen people.
TikTok is
I've
pretty
literally
efficient.
no, like Chris. I've literally watched people get dumber. Like just last year. Like, Lord have mercy. I mean, in the very beginning of Kamala Harris' campaign, the very same people were telling me that Kamala Harris is a plant. She's going to get impeached if she wins. 2 months later, the very same people were calling her a visionary. And then Mamdani, who's a rabbit that pops out of a hat, when was it, June or July, when he won the primaries? Nobody knew who the hell he was. The people on the left was like, nah, he's too radical, responding to radicalism and extremism with more extremism is not a good thing. In other words, initially they were saying, listen, we got a president who's quote unquote extreme, and responding to that with extremism is not a good thing. Lo and behold, these people are 100% sold out to Mamdani. You see, I've seen people get dumber just by listening to TikTok and watching these sound bites.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's impressive how bad um, the mindset of people have become on the left. They literally Either they're just desperate or stupid. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. And I think Mamdani agrees with you. I think Obama agrees with you. And I think even Trump agrees with you. He does think we're stupid, like the people are stupid. But
Yeah, I mean, I'll
anyways,
be honest with you. I look at Trump in his first 6, 7, 8 months. I think he's highly compromised. I think many of the things that he ran on, he's literally backtracking on left and right. And I look at his relationship with Israel. I mean, dropping that bomb on Iran,
mhm,
that was not our wishes. That was not the wishes of America. That was the wishes of Israel.
yeah.
And I think he's highly compromised.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing, all the heat is taken because of the recent statement on H-1Bs. And that was like 2 months after the $100,000 fee that he's charging for H-1Bs.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the whole H-1B visa thing. I'm really not knowledgeable about it, but I'm telling you, right, what he's right now trying to do is fight for American jobs because he needs to fight for those jobs for people
Yeah.
for as long as he can while they still have them.
Yeah, 100%. I fully agree. But anyways, it was so nice chatting. And obviously I must say that your conspiracy theory, or well, I won't say conspiracy theory, but your views might be kind of intimidating. Any positive word you'd like to drop for people so, they keep hopeful?
Well, I mean, I have a book coming out called Faith Matters, and God wants you to have faith in yourself at all times. God made you to be great. Um, at the end of the day, if you look around, the one thing you can count on, not a politician, not a YouTuber, not a podcaster, not anyone else in your life other than God. So my advice to everyone is faith matters. Faith matters to you. It matters to your children. It matters to your future. Keep God in your life. Be thankful for what you have, and work very hard. There's two things I tell people every day right now: focus on your health and focus on your wealth, and everything else you can just put on the shelf for now. Because for the next 6 months, 12 months, you've got to focus on those two things to literally take care of yourself and your family.
No, for sure, man. So, Chris, really great having you. Thank you for dropping these gems. We'll certainly call you back and chop it up more. Hopefully, we'll talk again in a couple of months when things start transpiring, and I'd like to hear your views then. Otherwise, God bless you and take care, man.
Been great. I appreciate your time, man.
Take it easy.